Speaker.
Nikki Kay.
Mr. Speaker, there are riots in London. The financial markets are volatile, and Labour have been distracted for a very long period of time. The fact is, Trevor Mallard is doing cycle races, and Phil Goff is more concerned with remembering which notes he had in a meeting and attacking senior public servants than helping the people of New Zealand. The reality is this government has implemented a strong plan of economic reform. We can talk about cost of living, but the fact is that under Labour, milk rose higher than under National. $4.15 is the price of a 2-litre bottle of milk. But the fact is that the best thing that we can do to New Zealanders to ensure that they have a lower cost of living is to create a competitive economy, to ensure there are better jobs, and to ensure that we have lower interest rates. Under our government, we have had a strong program of economic reform. We've had the largest tax reform in 25 years. We've ensured that we've reduced regulations, both in terms of the reform of the Resource Management Act, we've reformed the Building Act, and in my city of Auckland, we undertook the largest reform of local government ever. And can I say I was very proud to be standing on the waterfront with the Prime Minister and Len Brown to see the Wynyard Quarter opened up. And can I say that anyone on the other side of the House that claims that people are not seeing the extraordinary changes that our government is making to reform and reduce bureaucracy, then they were not there at Wynyard Quarter last Saturday afternoon, because thousands of people flocked to our waterfront. They flock to our waterfront because they are seeing a transformation in Auckland. They are seeing a transformation in terms of our infrastructure, not just down in the waterfront. They are also seeing a transformation in terms of transport. We invested $340 million in the Victoria Park Tunnel project. That project will open early. That project will reduce congestion in Auckland. It will take thousands of cars off our roads. And we, in a couple of weeks' time, will achieve something quite extraordinary in our city. Finally, with one mayor and one plan, we will have a spatial plan for Auckland that will enable us to deliver from a cultural, social, environmental, and more importantly, an economic perspective right across our city. We will finally be able to deliver the transport system that Aucklanders want, but we will do it in a fiscally responsible way, because as we can see looking across the world, in Europe, for instance, there are 21 out of 27 centre-right administrations because people are realising that the world has changed. The reality is both countries and governments that spend more than they earn and individuals that spend more than they earn cannot survive in the new world. And the fact is that's why we're seeing riots in London, and that's why New Zealanders understand that our plan for economic reform and the program that we've been implementing is working. It is working because we are finally seeing, I think we've seen unemployment is dropping, even though it's modest and slightly dropping. We're actually seeing progress in major areas of infrastructure like in Auckland. And the feeling that I get on the doorstep is that people understand we're making the hard changes because they are making them themselves in their own personal circumstances. And the alternative is very clear. The alternative is to return to a party on the opposite side that is continuing to promote policies that are high debt, that involve taxing people more, and in my view, they will take the country backwards. And I can tell you, when I've been door knocking on the streets of Auckland Central, people understand that. People do not want to return to a country that will see us in debt with a decade of deficits. They want a government that is responsible, that ensures that we have reduced regulation, that ensures that we have a smart tax system that rewards those small businesses that create wealth in this country. And I can tell you what they're saying on the doorstep is that they do not want to return to an opposition party that is distracted not on what matters for many individuals in New Zealand, but is distracted internally with themselves. And they contrast that to a leader with courage, to a leader who has undertaken significant reform, who has ensured that we've invested in our infrastructure. And I can tell you that on November 26, I look forward to seeing Prime Minister John Key hopefully leading our country towards into the future.
The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
Mr. Speaker, if that was a bid to retain Auckland Central,